What's happening, everybody? You're tuning in to Music and Motivation with Chris Davis. This is episode number 156, and today I'm recording this on Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022. And, if you're tuning in, dude, this podcast does not happen without your continued support. So by all means, man, thank you so much for tuning in. We're trying to establish a friendly, happy little community of positive people here, of true savages. And if you're listening into this, chances are you're a savage too, man. But I really do appreciate all the support. And if you listen to this, man, you're family. You're like my Goomba. So thanks, dog. Couple things, man. Before we start off, I want to catch you up to speed on some stuff. I skipped last week. I'm really sorry. If this is a weekly thing you really enjoy, let me know, man, because all the positive feedback I get, all the happy little comments I get, more people that listen and comment happy shit. I'll make sure it's a priority, dude. You guys are a priority. That's why this show has not stopped. We've been going for, man, it was just Martin Luther King Day not too long ago, so 2 years. Plus, we're keeping this ball rolling, man. And that's because this is for the homies, bro. All the way, it's always been for the homies, for the Goombas, and for the fam, dude. So, here's to you guys, top fam. I know when I skip a week, some people, maybe it sucks. Maybe it's the thing you look forward to. And, I hate to make your week a little worse. So, I try to make this a priority anyways, But sorry for being sporadic. That's what I'm really trying to say. This month has been super sporadic on me posting. Super grateful. Shout out to Kelly Davis for coming on the last episode. It's the first time I've officially had her on, and that was a delight for both of us. We had such a good time recording it. I'm going to have to make it a more regular thing. Oh, a little gassy. Here we go. Okay. The other reason I've been sporadic is because I've been traveling a lot. Last weekend, I went down to Piedmont with Farmer, Dan, and Allie. Shout out to you guys, man. Big Farmer is one of the best recurring guests we've had on the podcast, and he's definitely both of them are my best friends in life. Shout out to Dan and Farmer for always having my back and being the realest Goombas a dude could ask for, So, yeah, we went down and traveled down there, but in Piedmont, I have zero reception. I decided, no connection. Let's just not even worry about recording. It's going to be a nightmare, So instead, we relaxed. We had a weekend off and caught up with the fam, and, it was good. I needed a little bit of a break. It's been a rocky start to the year, but who cares, man? There's been ups and downs and good things and bad, and that's life, man. So I try to focus on the good things, as should you, But, yeah. So traveled to Piedmont. I'm traveling again this weekend, but I made sure I got an episode in for y'all before I split. And I also wanted to make sure Comedy by Coincidence will be coming out this week too. We also had a week hiatus there. And I'm sorry if you're a true Comedy by Coincidence savage. So, and if you've never listened to that podcast before, go listen to Comedy by Coincidence. If you're not into a little bit of cursing and some not safe for work comedy, it might not be your thing. But if you need a laugh and you're into, it's your boy. How bad can it really be? You know what I mean? Ty gets a little crazy because he's a professional comedian. He's a pro. So he has the right to get a little crazy. Me, I try to keep it, I'll swing it back the direction that's a little family friendly. But it's still tremendous, man. Go check it out. That's Comedy by Coincidence with Chris Davis, Ty Young. All listening platforms if you haven't. Shameless plug. But making sure I get those episodes recorded for y'all, because y'all are priority. 100. One last thing before I hop into some segments, man. I want y'all to say a little prayer for my grandpa Davis, okay? He's been on my mind all week because he's got surgery today. In fact, he's probably under right while I'm recording this, so obviously, the episode's not out. Your prayers probably ain't going to affect the surgery. I'm going to say a prayer for him right now. Just because I'm thinking about him, Take a moment of silence. I'm saying a prayer in my head. Hold on. for a sinner, now at the hour of our death. Amen. Amen, man. There's the Catholic side of me coming out just a little bit. But you gotta pray to the Blessed Mother every once in a while, especially if you got a real one. And Grandpa Davis is a real one. In fact, he's the savage of the week. Pew, 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 pew. It's kind of a weird transition. I'm just worried about him. So say a prayer for the man. Honestly, I don't want to freak y'all out. I'm trying not to be too freaked out myself. This is just an exploratory surgery, on part of his heart, But we want to make sure the man don't have a freaking heart attack. So they're doing exploratory surgery, and he might need more. So again, say some prayers that maybe they don't find anything, or he has a speedy recovery. Or if they do find something, that everything ends up okay, man. That's all I'm asking. A little prayer. Even if you're not religious, man, say, hey, universe, man, send Grandpa Davis a real one. You know what I mean? Because he's a real one. Yeah, Savage of the Week is Grandpa Davis. This man, he already survived cancer. He was an educator / still subs every once in a while for, he's got to have done it for 40 years at this point. He's definitely doing it in the 80s and 70s and stuff. So, he survived the Murray shooting because he was at the school when the shooting happened, and that was dreadful. And he was protecting kids, dude. That's insane. So, yeah, this man is a savage, and when he goes on vacation with us, we let him drink, because, you know what? He deserves it. Let him do his thing, okay? Gets a little wild. He's a little bullin'. We once caught him walked into the wrong beach house, and into the wrong family's beach house, and was like, "You're not my family, what are you doing?" He's a wild old man. That's why we love him, okay? So say a prayer for Grandpa Davis, okay? Now, man, let's do a couple tips for surviving the week. Try to get on to some positive stuff, okay? Tip number 1, you having a tough day? Think of 5 good things that you got going on that you can be grateful for, okay? This is the year we're going to focus on being grateful and working on our gratitude, man, because that helps change the perspective. It helps us think more positively, helps us get us out of a funk too, man. So tip number 1, if you're having a tough day, think of 5 good things that you got going on that you can be grateful for, man. Tip number 2, let's see, you having a tough week? Call 3 good friends, man, throughout the week, okay? Different times. It's just 3 different phone calls. But, man, talking to a good friend or a Goomba, it can change my week, you know what I mean? It can totally put me in a completely different mood. Might even end up with you having some plans that you didn't know you had. So that's pretty cool. So tip number 2, tough week, call 3 good friends, okay? Tip number 3 for surviving the week is you having a tough year. I want you to write out those small and big goals separately on a list, man, and try to find ways to cross them off, Little steps get you to those goals. And by putting, when we write out our goals every day, cross them off as we get through them, it becomes more accomplishable. That's all I'm saying, okay? Take a second, take a sip of coffee, take a sip of water, whatever, get hydrated, and smoke them if you got them. I'm honestly just drinking my coffee today. I need some coffee in me. But sometimes I just call coffee will to live, and I'll be like, "Hey, Kelly, can you brew some more will to live?" Will. Anyways, that's a dumb joke, but it's true in this household. Okay, let's do some tips for musicians / music lovers. Tip number 1 for musicians: keep practicing. And this goes for non-musicians too, but if we're trying to hone our skills, if we're trying to become masters of a craft, we have to practice, You don't become an expert welder like my man Dan Sodoma by not welding, right? You got to practice those beads, baby. You gotta put in those time and hours and fuck ups in practice so that it comes out perfect when you're getting paid to do it, So, tip number 1, as always, keep practicing. Try to get 20 to 30 minutes of practice 2 to 3 times a week, man. That makes for a wonderful, awesome musician. And you're going to be an awesome, wonderful musician. So keep working at it, man, no matter where you're at. Tip number 2 for musicians. Are you a struggling musician with a band? Are you like, where are the shows at? I'm trying to book shows. I don't know where to get started. Contact/call your local venues, man. That's how I'm getting some success, dude. I found one that really likes us and wants us back. So I'll get to that in a little bit. But that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't reached out on Facebook. Just no ad, not responding to anything, just saying, hey, my buddies play at that venue. Why not message that venue, you know? And when I messaged them, here's what I said. Hey, my name is such and such. I'm in this band. Or if you want to sound real fancy, I represent this band, and we're trying to book shows. Would you be are there any dates that you need a potential band, or we are interested in playing in these months, or whatever, you know? You come up with it, but that's all it takes. You know, the real question you got to ask, could you give me the contact info for whoever is in charge of booking/events? And that, if they do, then that's your in, and you call that guy and you pester him until you get a show. And if not, if they say no, you tried, and you do it 3 more times at 3 different venues, you know? And that's how it works. At least when you're independent and trying to book your own shows, you know? So that's tip number 2, is if you're trying to book show, call and contact your local venues, okay? See what the deal is. Get the booking agents info. Get the scheduler guy's info. Whatever. The event coordinator guy's info. Whatever. Get your in. It all happens because you have to call and contact them. Nobody's calling and contacting you if you don't go and play out. You gotta figure it out. Tip number 3 for musicians and music lovers is always support your local music / your other local artists, even if they're your competition and or peers, okay? And that's a real important one that I had to take some learning. Back, you know, I was always into sports growing up, so I had a real competitive spirit growing up, you know? And you want to win, you want to be the best, you want to do whatever. But especially right now in music, when there's limited money and, you know, an over surplus of artists / musicians out there, there is a competitive nature to it. But you always have to put that aside and support your other local bands, local music, no matter if they're your competition or what, man. That's how it's got to be. You got to support them, because that's the rock and roll doesn't happen without people who love rock and roll. Also, I mean, you know, people don't want to work with jackasses, so be nice to everybody. That's the real deal. What would Jerry do? Be kind. For sure, dude. So, that's tip number 3. Always support local music and artists, even if they're your competition. And that brings me to albums of the week, man. And I actually did my homework. I have 4 different albums for you guys to listen to this week, so you'll have plenty of stuff to listen to. Okay, so album of the week. We got album of the week for jazz. We got Miles Davis, So What. It's that time of year, and I'm already starting to listen to jazz again now that spring's rolling around. Helps me do a little bit of spring cleaning. Helps put me in a good spot. And it's a nice sight reading assignment for some of my better students, right? So, Miles Davis, So What. You got obviously the self-titled So What on there. That's one of the most iconic albums of all time, guys. You got to go check it out. Album of the week for rock, we got the Black Crowes Live album. And there's 2 different ones, okay? There's Black Crowes Live, and there's Black Crowes Live with Jimmy Page, both of which slap, bro. Both of which are worth a listen, so go listen to that. Black Crowes Live or Black Crowes Live with Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page being the guitarist from Led Zeppelin, doing a couple Zeppelin tunes with Chris Robinson on vocals, man. It's insane, dude. You gotta go listen to that. And then album of the week for metal. Actually, these last two, we're gonna call them artists of the week, okay? Because I didn't write down a specific album for either of them, but artist of the week for metal is Slade, Slaid. Slade, go check them out. And then artist for the week for funk is The Meters. We've been coming up with funkier grooves in the Forgiving Tree, which means I have to listen to a lot of different stuff to get inspiration. So I've been listening to a lot of The Meters, a lot of Parliament, a lot of Curtis Mayfield, stuff like that, man. So, but The Meters, funkiest drummer ever, dude. Go check them out. Tremendous band. And that's all for album/artist of the week. So, I did my homework, guys. We did it. I'm telling you. Then I'm going to finish this off with a little bit of Chris Davis news for you, okay? Like I said, we're out here trying to book shows. I just booked a show with the Adam Feathers Project, and I'm trying to get Plaid in the Panther. I'm not 100% sure I'm Plaid in the Panther, but they're friends of ours too, and they rock, man. They're like a Black Sabbath meets the White Stripes. They're like the White Stripes if they went extra hard. Okay, you got to check them out. I'm excited for both. And Adam Feathers is freaking amazing. Sorry, I got a text about it right while I was talking about it. That's how you know it's happening. And just so you know, this text said, date is solid and door is the same. And that's amazing. That's exactly what we want. Tremendous. That calls for smoke break. Okay, real quick, everybody, take a sip of coffee. Stay hydrated, drink your water, and if you're the smoking kind of person, smoke them if you got it real quick. Hold on. So, concert April 8th. That's a Friday, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Broadway Boat Bar. Same place as the last show, when it was awesome. And it's an hour earlier, so those of you who were upset because it was cold and a late one, it's going to be even earlier this time, and it will be warmer, and the sun will be out longer, so it's going to be tremendous. Make sure you come out for that, okay? Forgiving Tree's also on YouTube, man. Go check out our demo. It's a 4-track, and we're doing a whole lot of new stuff, too, and trying to get it recorded. Go check out the Forgiving Tree Band YouTube, man. Make sure you subscribe, because I'm about to throw a whole lot of concert footage up there too. And if you couldn't make it out to the last show, well, here's your chance to see it by going and checking out that Forgiving Tree YouTube, bro. Also, I wanted to say again, check out Comedy by Coincidence, dude. That's Ty Young and me, as you know, doing our comedy stuff, talking about the state of comedy, any news. We got a couple different segments, and we have a whole lot of fun on the show, dude. He's one of the funniest guys I know, and we go back to college together, so it's great rapport, it's great chemistry, and we laugh a lot. So come check it out, man. Comedy by Coincidence with Chris Davis and Ty Young, and yeah, man. Again, say a little prayer for my grandpa Davis, dude. He's our Savage of the Week, and he could use your prayers. Just that he does okay, he recovers, and he ends up doing well, you know, because he's a savage. So, mad love and respect, everybody. Again, if you tune into this podcast, you're my Goomba, bro. And I got nothing but mad love, respect, and loyalty to you, man. So, let's see. That's all I really got for you guys today, man. Outside of just booking the show and having another trip this weekend, I'm going down to Tennessee. Kelly and I are going hiking, biking, and ghost hunting. And it's going to be a nice little reprieve. We might even get a little bit of content from it. So we'll see what happens. But overall, it's going to be a nice, relaxing, chill weekend with the most lovely lady in my life. You know what I mean? My wonderful wife. So, let's see. yeah, man, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, dude. Thanks for being here, and as always, dude, I love you. You have a great rest of your week. I'll be back next week, okay? Keep on trucking, you savages. Mad love and respect. Peace.